You know what's really funny about the whole intro? All three of us have different hair in the pictures.
And you know what? I keep looking at it, and that's why I keep wanting the short hair back. I'm like, I love that cut. Love that cut.
Mm-hmm. I do. It's very, very chic on you.
2 minutes. 2 minutes it lasted.
Well, welcome, folks, to another episode of Still Dope. We are going to start a new tradition now. You know, we're always going to talk about our Mavs, Married at First Sight, but we're going to take a couple of minutes to kind of talk about some hot topics because there's just too much shit going on in this world that we cannot not talk about. First up, I know everybody has seen it, and I'm going to try to find that clip so I can put it on our Instagram so that y'all can see it and discuss and comment. But last week, this video has been going around. This brother in Miami, I'm going to assume it was Miami because it kind of looked like Miami because I went to his Instagram page and he's all over Miami. So we'll say Miami. Apparently, he must have met some girl, flew her, bought her ticket, round trip ticket to come spend time with him in Florida. And I guess she wasn't giving up the poom poom. And he politely turned his ass around, canceled her ticket back to wherever the hell she was coming from, was recording it as he was driving her back to the airport, was recording her while she's like, why are you bringing me back to the airport? Because you ain't giving me the cheeks. I guess that's the new term. You're not giving up the cheeks. She's like, I don't have to sleep with you. He's like, I paid for your ticket to come all the way down here and spend time with me. You gonna tell me you ain't giving up the cheeks? You could take your ass back at home. Drop their ass off at the airport. They proceed to, show their ass at the airport. He opens up his trunk and he's like, get your own bag out my trunk. I'm all here for it. She's walking back to the terminal. She's like, how am I supposed to get home? He's like, I canceled your ticket. Go buy yourself a ticket. Call somebody else. And she's like, well, I came down here with nothing. Ding! Red flag number one. Come down there with nothing, which means you ain't got shit. You should have stayed your broke ass at home. But I know everybody's seen it. So y'all gonna know what my position is on this. She deserved every bit of that smoke.
See that? Counterpoint. Counterpoint.
I'm saying you don't go anywhere with somebody you don't know well enough without funds for yourself. A credit card, something. I don't know what she was thinking. But that guy, bottom barrel, disgusting. But this is something that they should have had already talked about. I mean, if a guy says, oh, Shahida, I'm going to fly you in and you're going to stay here with me, and we've already been kind of like intimately talking, I'm going to think as a grown woman now, if I don't want to do anything, then I'll say, look, but I don't want to have sex. Is this something you still want to do? And if he says yes, then I'm still coming with my own stuff just in case. And then at that point, I might just say, I'm going to stay at a hotel. I'll come and visit you, but I'm going to stay at a hotel because why further complicate a sticky situation when the person wants to get with you? So she was stupid, but he was disgusting, in my opinion.
That's a pretty good summary. First of all, you shouldn't assume anything. Both of them should not be assuming anything. You can't assume you're gonna get the cheeks. I mean, you could think you would be, but you can't assume it. You gotta roll the dice. And with her, you gotta assume that he's not fucking crazy, and he's not a serial killer, and he's not gonna try to chop you up. And if you have to at least have a conversation with each other, as Tani was saying, both of you saying, feel out the situation of what's going on, and don't go. She knows he's expecting the cheeks.
Of course she is.
Right. But he's expecting the cheeks, but he can't demand and expect it on his own part. So obviously they're both at fault for whatever. Now, as a gentleman taking that risk of flying her in and not getting the cheeks, she was and by his own accord, a bit of a tease, because she was walking around in her towel and being all flirtatious and sexy, and thinking that maybe, if you do not like this man when you first see him and you don't want to give him anything, don't be naked in front of him. Don't have your clothes off in front of him. Don't sleep next to him. Either get a hotel room, do something like that. But don't be poking the bear like this and be like, I don't want to play anymore. It's like, you can't put, bear's hungry. The bear wants the fish. And you can't be dangling fish in honey, dangling, oh, look at the fish and honey. Patrice O'Neal had a great joke about, he's like, oh, look at the honey. You got the honey with that's my favorite fish. Just dripping over, and she's like, hi. Like he said at work when a woman hugs you and goes, hi, how are you? And he's like, oh God, I can't touch you. Oh, I can't. So he's got to take that risk. If he's gonna fly someone and doesn't get the cheeks, he's got to take that risk and at least give her flight back. But they're both in the wrong. They're both in the wrong, and they're both for assuming.
So I went to his Instagram page. I don't know who she is because he didn't tag her in it. So, his Instagram page, you should have known what you was getting into. Because the dude, I don't know what he does for a living, but he has a lot of money because he has like several very nice luxury vehicles. And the house that he says he lives in is a very nice house. But in looking at his videos, he's always at the strip club. He's always at some club making it rain on some poor, unsuspecting woman's twerking ass. And
they ain't that poor anymore. Those poor women making
that is true. Those women they're making it rain on themselves too. But I'm like, you should have known that there was some sort of expectation there. I'm saying that you don't have to do that. But like Shahida says, always have a backup plan, boo-boo. If you're going to go down there and he says, I can't wait to hit them cheeks, and you get an attitude and say, that wasn't my plan to have sex with you. I'm just meeting you for the first time. I'm not going to have sex with you. I'm not comfortable with that. Then you better have some money or a credit card.
And she should have taken a cab to the airport too, and not have him do anything. If she wasn't going to do anything, don't do anything else for me at all. I will take care of myself. I will get myself to the airport. I will take care of my flight if you don't cancel the flight. But don't confront him with that, because they both look like clowns.
Yes. And on top of it, she should be happy that that's all he did. Like, that was the worst that could happen. That he was like, oh, you're not gonna have sex with me? Okay, bitch, I'm taking your ass back to the airport. Get your own flight home. Because he could have been a stone cold serial killer. Again, stop meeting these guys on the internet, people, and then having them fly you, unless you are or have met them somewhere in a public place somewhere, like for a dinner or what have you. Stop flying these people and letting them stay at your crib or sharing a hotel room together, because these people could be stone cold axe murderers. Motherfuckers got death wishes. Ew. And there's a whole lot of nastiness going around health-wise these days. Ick.
But if it's even true, and the reason why I say that is because so many people do things so that, one, you can talk about it, like a discussion, and it's very, very convenient that you're driving and videotaping her, and then like you said, and I didn't even think about it until just now, that when Chris said she should have took a cab, you literally got in the car after he said that, and then you all are having this conversation, and now I'm thinking about it, it's probably staged.
It could be. Because again, with everything on the internet now, everybody wants to be liked, the likes, the followers, and all of that. It could be. And here we go. They got what they wanted. We're talking about it.
But 100%, it has happened.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Many, many times. Whether or not that little clip was real or not, it happens. And to your point,
I just tell them to take a cab. I don't say, just take a cab.
Yeah.
Uber me to the airport. I got you.
Yeah.
But to your point, Tanya, you know, it's still as old as I am, 54, and I have talked to younger women who been on like an app or something, and it's like, you know, they're just going there, hook up with somebody for the night. It's just straight for sex. And this one girl who I love to death was just like, you know, yeah, I went to his apartment, we had sex, and I left. And I'm like, there's no fear there, no fear.
But we were, see, our generation, fear was instilled in us from AIDS. So if you're gonna kiss somebody, you're gonna die. Basically, from going out when we on the, you know, when we get home before noon or before the lights come in, we were instilled in us to be watch out for. Now the world is open up, and these kids don't.
They have no filter.
They don't care.
They have no filter. They don't care. They're just in them streets, and it's scary. And I'm just glad I ain't got no children. And I'm glad that I am where I'm a middle-aged 54-year-old woman, that I don't have to deal. I'm glad that I didn't grow up in the era of social media, because I will be honest with you. The girl that I was in high school, I was always confident, but I was confident yet insecure about myself. If we had Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok while we were in high school, I would be the high school dropout, or I'd be that tragic story, because, you know, somebody said something wrong on the internet and everybody saw it and laughed about it, and I was the butt of the jokes for the whole week. I'd be that poor tragedy story of some parent walking into their child's room and their child's hanging. That would be me. So I'm grateful that I
won't be far behind you, because I was
shit.
fucked up too. And
I would have been a TikTok star, so.
Of course you would.
I'd have had $1 million at 15 years old doing crazy.
With your parents?
Give me TikTok at 15. Are you kidding me? TikTok at 15? You know how much money I would have right now? Huh?
With your parents, though.
Will my parents let me do it? Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
My parents are like, look, we'll give you $120 for school clothes for the year. That's it, $120. I'm like, she's like, or whatever you want to buy, you can buy whatever you want, we'll pay for half. Okay. So if you want to get a job and you want a pair of $300 shoes, come up with $150. So that was my motivation. So I'd have been like, can you go in?
Though.
Can you go in half on this Bugatti, Mom? Or you can't? Because I can afford it. Can you? I would be a TikTok star.
I was gonna say, can you call Mama right now and tell her to go half on me? Because I want that four-door I want that four-door hardtop Jeep Wrangler to put in my garage, the plug-in one, the hybrid.
Oh, the hybrid.
But I'm not trying to pay $75,000 for no Jeep Wrangler, and I am a Jeep Wrangler. That's all I've had. I am not paying that kind of money for no Jeep Wrangler. But all right, we talked about that. On to the next thing. I know, Shahida, next hot topic.
No. I just wanted to say, Khalees is just stupid.
Okay, we're talking about the Khalees and Beyonce drama.
Khalees and Beyonce. And Khalees came for Beyonce because Beyonce, although she gave her credit, she didn't pay her specifically for just what was it, like 2 seconds of a clip of her song. And then so Beyonce this week, after Khalees called her a demon.
Oh, really?
Over the top.
I missed all of that.
A demon. She just said, you know what? I'm just gonna take it out. So,
but can I just say real quick? I heard the song, Beyonce song, I should say. Now, if no one had said, if Khalees had just shut her mouth and not said anything, and I heard the song, it wouldn't even register in my brain that there's like hints of milkshake in there. Nothing. I don't get it. There's been other songs that I've heard that, you know, they've kind of like stolen or they've kind of sampled it. I'm like, okay, I hear that. I don't hear milkshake. I don't hear not a 1 ounce of milkshake in that song of Beyonce.
Well, when did you hear
That's
it?
not the point, though. It's about the money. It's about the money and the credit and the money. You know what I mean?
He gave her the credit, but the money, I guess, went to her, who owned the song, and that was Pharrell.
Another thing, which is crazy, this Beehive is a little bit too much for me.
Too much, but we ain't gonna try to talk about them because they take people out, honey.
Yeah, did you hear what happened to Diane Warren? Diane Warren, I read this today. Diane Warren, a multi-Grammy winner. Did you hear about it, Sheeta?
Oh, I know about Diane Warren.
Multi-Grammy winner, multi-Oscar nominee.
Yes.
One of the greatest songwriters of all time.
Yes.
With a tweet that said, how do you have 24 writers on one song? No shade, just asking. Right?
But can I say something?
What?
Because I get that. I'm sorry, I just knocked my plug out. I know that she said no shade, just asking. White women throw shade all the fucking time.
Oh, Diane Warren.
I don't give a fuck who she is. I don't give a fuck who she is.
That is why I lay low with the Beyonce talk, because it's women like this one here, Miss Shahida over here.
My hair falling out. Go ahead.
Listen, look at here. The hair done came out. Look at here. Next thing you know, she gonna get up. She gonna go get her jar of Vaseline and rub it down and be ready to get in her car and come here and beat my ass because I'm the closest one. So Chris, let's let this one go.
Wait. But Chris, did you read under the tweet? Because there was some what's his name?
What he said. I saw what he said. He was like, you don't know about sampling and this. Like,
no. It wasn't that. It was very respectful. The guy that not Neptunes, that was on Jimmy Fallon's show, the director, and he just won the Oscar for
Questlove.
Who?
Questlove.
Okay, so he came out and he said something, very respectful, explaining it to her, and then she was like, okay, I appreciate you. I did not understand why she did that, know, and so he explained.
And then they came for her even after that.
All I'm gonna say,
even asking an innocent question like that, because Diane Warren
doesn't know if it was innocent, though. We don't know if it was innocent.
24. Look, Diane Warren, when she writes a song, it's her and maybe someone else as a songwriter.
Again, we don't know if it was innocent, though.
You won't break my soul.
You won't break my soul.
Especially if you are Diane Warren. Especially if you are Diane Warren, who is a prolific
yes,
she's a songwriter, and you have a song that has 24 songwriters on it.
Beyonce's a genius too.
Well, let me ask you this: what song has 24 songwriters on it?
Yeah, 24 songwriters for one song. I don't know, but it was all samples. But you have to give credit all the samples. Anyway, it's a new generation, different type of songwriter. I'll leave it. But I was like,
all I'm gonna say at the end of the day,
a little respect though.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Warren.
Well, most of those people who were responding don't know who the hell she is. They just
know.
saw a white woman with short black hair, and they were like,
"You go shit." Diane Warren turned into a Karen immediately.
Whitney Houston would have backed her up.
Who?
Whitney Houston would have backed her up.
Did Whitney write any of her songs though?
Diane Warren wrote everything.
I'm saying, did Whitney Houston? Of course, Whitney Houston would have backed her up because Whitney Houston, Diane Warren wrote a lot of those songs. But Whitney wasn't a songwriter, so I think Whitney would have stayed out of it. All I'm gonna say is this: look, I love Beyonce. I love her music, but at the end of the day, people have taken their fandom to a whole nother level. I look at Beyonce. I like her music. I like other people's music as well. It's the same level for me. I'm not. Beyonce's not godlike to me. And some of these younger people that they literally worship at the dais of Beyonce. And if you even critique one little thing or say what, they're coming for you. And it's just, I don't understand that level of fandom. And I know what it's like to be in my teens, 20s, where you had like, you know, Michael Jackson. I love me some Michael Jackson.
You couldn't come from Michael.
You couldn't say nothing. You couldn't say nothing about Michael Jackson to me. But what I wouldn't do, what I did is I respected, look, some people didn't like Michael Jackson. Some people thought he was weird. He was a freak. He was that. They wasn't listening to his music. I'm not going to come to you. I'm not going to waste my time and energy on coming for you. Because guess what? At the end of the day, Michael, I was just a fan. Michael ain't paying my bills. I'm not related to Michael. Half of you broke ass.
She wrote for Beyonce too. She wrote "Blame It on the Rain." She wrote
"Blame It on the Rain."
Blame It on the Rain for Milli Vanilli.
Oh, I thought you were saying like that was a Beyonce song, and I'm like, I don't know.
No. She's saying the one for 9/11. She had a lot of songs.
No, Diane Warren. Look, not taking away from Diane Warren. At the end of the day, Diane Warren is such a legend and a genius that she kind of should have just stayed out of it. She should have stayed up on her high throne as a master songwriter and just been like, I'm not going to use that shit.
You can't say anything. You can't say anything against
Keep
Beyonce.
Black women's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm all for it, but at the end of the day, Beyonce is an entertainer and a celebrity, and she's not exempt. She's not exempt from criticism as far as I'm concerned, whether you're black, white, or indifferent. And I just don't like the fact that I just find it problematic that people have put her in this godlike type of position where it's like, no, that's a little bit extreme. That's extreme. That to me, that's just my opinion. It's extreme.
But it's an open forum for people to Twitter is just open forum for people to say their opinion. And then when you have it as such, where it just seemed like, oh, everything else is muted and it's just all right there, it seems like it's a lot, but it's not really a lot. People are just being assholes for no reason. But if you want to see, like, I'm a Beyonce fan, and
I am too.
Very little that I criticize.
I'm not obsessive about it.
But jumping to something else that is, we have to talk about another time. I just want to see if you guys watched it. Have you all watched The Most Hated Man on the Internet?
Which is whom now?
It's on Netflix, and it's about this guy who had this site, and the site was called.
Oh, it's a show. Okay, that was a person.
No, it's a show called The Most Hated Man on the Internet, and I need you to watch it this week so that we can talk about it next week. Because when you talk about like stands and people just being vile, it takes it to another level. And this was like the 90s and early 2000s, and the stuff that he did to women and got away with.
Oh my!
You have to watch it.
All right,
let's get to Married at First Sight.
Let's talk about Married at First Sight. All right, so everybody's on their honeymoon. And Morgan and Ben, had their little reception and then finally met up with the rest of the couples. But who we want to start with first? I'll just pick one. Let's just start with Morgan and Ben because they're kind of boring to me. And I felt kind of like thrown because he had, we can't help it that the man had COVID, but it's like, I was kind of like annoyed watching it because now I'm like, I'm over the weddings. Like let's get to the honeymoon. We're watching this honeymoon thing, and now we got to transition back to Morgan and Ben's wedding. So I have got nothing on them so far.
She's a little masculine to me. A little. I can't tell if I like her or not because she's kind of
She's an alpha.
Yeah, and he's kind of I don't know. I like him. I like his attitude. He seems fun. And she seems just a little bit brusque, if that makes any sense.
I see that because when she had a beautiful gown. Let me get my Joan Rivers hat on right now. R.I.P. Joan, because I used to watch your shit, The Fashion Police, all the time back in the day. I will have to say, Ben, I am not a fan of white suits ever on a man, white, black, or indifferent. But Ben wore that suit. Like if you had to wear that white tuxedo jacket with the black pants and the black bow tie, Ben was my most favorite dressed groom. Then Mitch was second. Okay, so back to Morgan. She had a beautiful gown on, but she kind of seemed, she was like kind of frumpy. Like,
She's
like, I got my bouquet. I'm gonna walk myself down the aisle.
What's her name?
Morgan. Oh, I thought you were asking me what her name was.
That's what she said. What? No, she said Ben. What's your name, Ben? Nice to meet you. Put her there, buddy.
Great. And then they're sitting at the table at the reception, and I'm like, of all the conversations, like you just met this man that you married, and of all the conversations that you can possibly first bring up, the first one is, you see that lady in the blue dress over there? That's my best friend. That's my friend. She's gonna see you later. Wait till you see her tooth. Like, and he's like, what's up with you? What's up with her tooth? And she's like, we were doing a Muay Thai and I chipped her tooth. And Ben's like, well, okay, I guess I got to be careful now. I don't want to make her mad because she might,
I missed that part.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
I missed that. I missed some of the reception thing or whatever. Because like you said,
over the
it was
wedding,
like the jumping back, and it was just like I got kind of bored. But I did like him. I don't know about her yet, but I liked her too. I didn't find that
she's into him. She's really into him.
I thought so. I thought they both seemed kind of really into each other, and they seemed very playful and fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
Want to hang out with
him. A little secret. He's like a little secret. Not freak, but I think Ben's trying to,
Oh, I think he.
Ben wants to. Ben, listen. Ben wants to hit them cheeks. That's going to be my new term for the rest of the summer. Ben wants them cheeks because Ben was like, it was his birthday. Remember he said he turned. Remember it was his 30th birthday at midnight of the night of the wedding. He was turning 30 at midnight, and he's like at his confessional. He's like, maybe if she wants to give me some for my birthday, I'll take it. And of course it didn't happen, but he took them condoms on that honeymoon though. He took that whole bowl of condoms and put it right in his suitcase. I like him. I think what's going to be problematic is number one, his relationship with his mother. He's always going to compare her to his mother. And number two, the fact that the conversation of children came up. He wants children, and apparently she could care less if she has kids or not. Like she doesn't want children, but if she met the right guy and he wanted children, she would think about it. It might be a possibility. So that could be those are the right now, because they just got married and the season's still new. Those are the top two problematic things that I see could possibly ruin them. You guys get anything else on them, or are we good?
Yeah.
I think they could work. They could work.
I see them working too, because I honestly, the mother thing, I thought if he was such a big mama's boy, we would have kept hearing references to her the entire time. But so far, he seemed like he's cool with the umbilical cord being cut. But we'll see going further when things get back to the home.
I'm a little annoyed with Married at First Sight producers and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to set you up for, guess what's coming? Conflict, and then I was like, really? That's it? That's all it was? I understand the sensationalism, and they have to do that, but I'm like, I think they're zhuzhing up a lot of these things. You know what I mean?
Of course they are.
I mean, they have
because I'm going to say it's safe to assume that but then again, we're all hooked on it. That I'm going to say it's safe to assume that they know, or they're hearing from the internet that people are just bored, or people are like, come on already, but
people are bored with all the conflict and drama because we don't want to see that part. People want to see, people being happy and really engaged in the relationship and it growing. So I don't think, I think they might have heard that part, because even though we're getting those tidbits, it does seem
smoother.
It is. It seems to be, except for let's go to that next couple with the problematic one, Mitch and
Kristen.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about that I was thinking about Miguel, but Mitch and Kristen. Mitch should just shut his ass up. He should just he shouldn't have said shit. He should have said. I think first of all, I think he's really scared and he's really nervous about, I'm married now. and I'm trying to do the right thing, and I'm trying to be the right thing, and she's just like, will you just fuck me? Really? She's just like, look, I like you, you like me, we're married. Can we just fuck? I got great tits. Can we just fuck? And I was like, and he's like, yeah, well, did you notice that the plastic on the thing? She's like, just shut up and just fuck me. That's the, and he's like, well, I'm not really attracted. Shut up, Mitch. He fucked her though. He fucked her.
Did he?
Did he?
Yes.
He did.
No, he didn't.
No, he wanted to, and then she got mad at him and said, you know, 1 second you're telling me that you're not attracted to me and everything, and then
they got drunk.
Right?
They didn't have sex. They didn't have sex though. They didn't have sex.
They did something.
They did. They might have had a little foreplay or something, but they didn't do the whole horizontal hustle. There was no penetration.
Is that's why she said, I need to have sex, or I like her. She's like, look, I gotta have sex, or an I love you, or I'm gonna say the
oh, when they leave, yeah.
But don't you think it's a little premature though? I thought conversation. No. With the whole, I need to. I mean, I'm sorry. How don't you get to know people first?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. I thought for that conversation, for her to lay that out there.
That's what I'm saying.
But also, that's a reaction to him laying out, I'm not attracted to you.
Exactly.
But he
That's
did
what I felt it was.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I viewed it, I took it differently. I thought that the conversation that they had was an absolute adult conversation. He was honest with her and told her he wasn't, the physical attraction wasn't there, but he was very sensitive about it and was like, I think you are a great person. I really like you. I'm going to see this through. I want to see where this goes because it could change, but I'm just not there right now. When he called his brother,
mixed signals. He was giving her mixed signals of like, yeah, I'm attracted to you. I'm doing all, we're married. I'm doing all the things that, you know, we're married people do, but I'm not going to have sex with you. And she's confused.
And honestly, this is day 2.
Right.
Thank you.
It's day 2. Why I felt, I don't know. It was an adult and mature thing to do, but it also was a mean thing to do. And that's what I got from him. That was to me was slightly mean
and himself
and hurtful, because again, this is the very early stages. And yeah, you might not feel extremely attracted to somebody right now, but you're married to them, and give that person a chance. You don't need to throw up fucking roadblocks to her and say, well, I'm not physically attracted, because you know what that does? That just curves the road, and then she's over here and now you're over here, where you were all on the same street, but because you hurt her feelings, and that was hurtful to her feelings, and I know it would be hard for me to come back after that. And even though she was like being really nice, and she was like, you know, I appreciate it, but even what she said to her girls, that shit hurt her.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit would hurt anybody.
So
it hurt anybody.
A grown man, you don't know fucking timing.
Yeah,
that was necessary at that moment.
Right.
No.
At least a week. At least they fooled around once. You know, even if it was after the fact, they fooled around and he's like, well, now I'm not really feeling it. At least give it like 5, 6, 7 a week.
And I feel like it was planned.
I agree.
The way he stood out there and it was like, I know I need to have this conversation with her, and he did all these fucking tears. I want to punch him in the throat.
2 days.
2 days. That's ridiculous. And it was, I feel like I honestly didn't give him the credit that you're giving him, Tanya. I was going more from what you said last week, that he's probably a psychopath, because that's what that seemed like to me.
I know I said that, but I'm telling you, I thought that his tone was respectful.
Like a psychopath?
No, it wasn't like a psychopath. I thought his tone was good. I thought that he just put the realness out there for me and just was like, I'm not. Yes, it was bad timing. They're having a romantic dinner. Just enjoy the moment. I agree with you. Enjoy the moment.
Power move.
But we don't know. Again, This is a show at the end of the day. And you've got we've seen it with these producers in the background, like da, 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 in their ears. He probably didn't. Who's this? I can't believe I'm sticking up for this man right now.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
I can't believe it because I still think there's something off with him.
And that would prove it to me. That moment proved that something was off.
Yeah.
That moment.
No, that moment for me just said to me that he had to just say to her, I'm not there yet.
2 days.
But 2 days again. But here's the thing. Let's get back to like all the other couples. This has been the first season where all of them, they're hitting the skins is like a top level fucking priority to these people. All of them are all talking about, well, fucking and hitting the skins and doing all this on day 2. You don't even know this person.
You're married to them, though.
I know, but at the end of the day, that's
not the end of the day. You're married.
I mean, I would like to think that I would want to take like, at least 2 or 3 days of my honeymoon and get to know you and kind of have some fun and shit.
You're married. You might as well be fucking.
Yeah,
if you're married, look, if you want to do it that way, then don't get married at first sight.
That's
if
right.
Get married at first sight and you're betrothed to someone, I'm fucking my wife.
And I'm attracted to you.
Even if I'm
I agree. If I'm attracted to you,
I'm not attracted to you, and you're my wife,
to you, and we're getting on, we're fucking. Period. End of story. And that's just how I roll.
As a man,
but
even if I'm not attracted to you,
I can't
fake attracted to you, and you're my wife, and you want to have sex, we're gonna have sex.
All right, Chris.
All right, Chris gonna be like, Chris wants them cheeks. Chris.
If we're married, if we decided to do anyway.
No, I didn't like that solidified to me. That moment solidified to me that he's not a nice person. I don't see him as a nice person.
Or he's sabotaging because he doesn't want to be in it.
I think he can't get out of his own way.
Sabotaging because he's never been in a long-term relationship. And she even brings that up to her girls. She's like, I'm a little worried about the fact that he hasn't been in and he's like, oh my God,
he's an asshole. And then it go and another reason why I'm just firmly stuck on him being mean and nasty. The sister-in-law's words keep ringing in my ear that how badly how bad their relationship was. And that she had to learn how, because he says things so just abruptly and out of pocket. So
I agree with you.
He doesn't take the time to think about other people's feelings, because if you open up your mouth to say things and a lot of people are saying, wow, that was kind of harsh, then you're not thinking about other people's feelings. You're just thinking about getting out what you want to say. And he wanted to say, I'm not attracted to you. And to me, that's a power play sometimes, where to make him feel like he has more of the control and the power. And she has been bent over backwards, trying.
She wants to bend over backwards.
All that.
Sir, let me finish this. But yes, so that made me, I didn't like him. And I'm thinking about like what his family said about him. And I'm taking that to heart. And I don't think he's a nice guy.
I'm still suspect with him. I'm just going off of that moment at the dinner that I didn't think he was his tone. I didn't think he was trying to be really, really bad.
Very even. It was, but that's the thing about psychopaths, though. They talk,
that is true,
and they bring you in with like, I just want to tell you, but you're a wonderful person, and I want you. It's all soft and smoothness, but then they go and do something fucked up. He's fucking crazy. I don't like him.
Alrighty then. Anything else with these two before we move on?
Let's move on.
All right. Let's go to
Miguel.
Go to Lindy and Miguel.
Miguel doesn't like Lindy that much.
Who? What now?
I don't think he likes her that much. There's some he wants to. He's in it. But if you listen to him in his confessionals, he is extremely guarded, and he doesn't trust her. There's something about her that he doesn't like. I don't know what.
Well, on top of like the 100 red flags, her family, creepy, and the fact that she made it very clear to him that she owes a lot of money in student debt.
And she won't give up.
But that's life right now in your late 20s. That's life right now.
I get that. I get that. But still, that kind of would be like, okay, but whatever.
It's not like
Chris
bankruptcy.
And she won't give up the cheeks unless it's special or something the other. Yeah. And he's like,
and he wants it.
You know, sexes can be a connection between two people.
When he straddled her and was rubbing her back, I got a little, I ain't gonna say him lie. I don't like massages, but I was like, ooh, look at Miguel. He is all up in them shoulder blades.
She's like,
yes. It would have been at that moment. We're in Puerto Vallarta. And we're at this beautiful little private little area. We're having some wine and some shit. I would have rolled over and been like, take me, daddy, take me.
Her problem is across all boards, she's traumatized, period.
And she's childlike.
She's never had sex with anybody else but the guy who took her virginity, and kind of that didn't work with the religion thing.
Yep.
She's in trauma right now. Even if she wants to be married, she's got a lot of trauma going on and a lot of,
But I think Miguel, honestly, when Miguel, did you see, I read people's faces. I think Miguel was a little hot. I think Miguel got a little wood when she told him that she lost her virginity to that husband, and that's the only man that she's been with. I think Miguel's eyes was like, oh, word?
I'm number 2?
I'm going to be number 2 to hit them skins? Oh, Miguel is all for it. That's why he straddled her ass and was rubbing his little thang on her back and rubbing her shoulder blades. The only thing that I have with Lindy in yesterday's episode was, that would drive me bazonkas. Every time they wake up in the morning, she's petting them like a dog. Did you see it? She's like, wake up, wake up, wake up. Are you up? Wake up. And I was like, bitch, if that was me, somebody do that to me, they getting an elbow to the throat.
She has arrested development on so many things.
Yes.
Maybe that's what he's feeling, because I'm trying to because I'm listening to his confessionals and I'm just like, he doesn't like her. There's something. He hasn't said anything really positive about her alone, but when they're together, he does. He's just like, he's really positive and, he wants to make it. But when he talks by himself, it's really kind of different. So I'm still on. I like both of them, I guess.
I do like them. I really want them to work. I think that the two of them will be really good together. I think if anything, they'll probably trauma bond with each other, because he's told his story, and his story ain't the greatest, and with his mother, and her story isn't, obviously, we all know her story. Hello, Warren Jeffs.
There's something about him that I don't know if I like. There's something about him, I don't know if it's a feminine, I don't know. There's something about him that's rubbing me the wrong way, and I will put my finger on it later in later episodes, but there's something about him that's going to come out or something that I'm going to be like, that's it.
He almost seems like, I agree with you, because I can't put my finger on it either. Right now, I like them both, but looking at his confessionals, and I keep thinking about his friends, how they described him, he does not seem like that guy that they described, like just all in and just really like, giving everything to the woman. And I'm like, he's basically saying, no, that's not me.
Or maybe he knows that, because they did say that about him. And they said that he was with other women that were like basically dogging him, and he would give them a second chance, a third chance. And they're looking at him like, bro, let her go. I think now that he knows this about himself, because sometimes it takes your friends and your closest circle to tell you, come on, And I think he's kind of like, okay, I've got this wife. I think he wants to go all in, but I think he's kind of like, let me just pull back a little bit. I think he's kind of on the fence. Like he doesn't know which way to go at this point.
I think what you're saying is, I think what also crystallizing that is, he's used to having a woman drive the relationship or whatever. And now that he's the one in charge of it and he has nothing to chase because she's like this.
Oh, all day. Yeah.
He doesn't really know what to do. Kind of, you know what I mean? I think he's kind of like, okay, you know, and she's just like a young girl that doesn't know any better. And it's like this and like this and he's not getting. So I don't know if he knows what to do in a relationship if it's not, I'm chasing this woman and she's in control, but now it's reversed. I think, and it's foreign to him. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I
like them, and I like their subtle banter back and forth. So I hope that they make it, but we shall see, child. We shall see. Who y'all want to talk about next?
Sasha, or do you want to talk about Justin?
Oh, we got two left. Oh,
yeah.
Sasha, or do you want to talk?
With Sasha?
Yeah, let's talk about Sasha.
Okay.
Let's talk about Sasha. Yeah. So
I still get Katina energy, and let me explain why.
Really,
I do. I just do. Even though she asked him about the bankruptcy or whatever, to me, she gives the vibes that she is going to do whatever it takes to keep this man. When she talked about that story about her name and not changing her name, even if it doesn't work out, you have no connection to this person. And if you have no connection to your father's last name, which I can get, but it's still a name that you've had like 20 something years. You don't need your father to make that yours at this point, you know, because you had it first.
I have questions about that because she has no idea who her father is.
And doesn't have a good relationship with her stepfather. Also,
I thought she had a good relationship with the stepfather.
I thought she said she didn't. The reason why she didn't take his name is because it wasn't as good as she didn't have a great relationship. That's the reason why she didn't take his name. That's what I thought.
Oh, I didn't hear all that. I didn't hear all that. I thought she had a good relationship with her stepfather.
Because she would have taken his name though.
But here's the thing. How do you not know who your father is? Do you not have there's more to this here that needs, not saying it needs to come out, but it's like, how do you not know who your father is? Your mother, how did your mother not tell you who your father is?
A lot of people do that.
But you see it, she clearly is affected by it. I can see women not telling them as children, but she is a whole grown ass adult with her own life, doing very well according to her. But it's like, how do you not, this woman is crying because of her name and not knowing who her biological father is. Why don't, as a parent, why don't you tell her how she was conceived, who her father is, and let her, as a 37, she's 37 years old. She's not some child anymore. She has no clue who her father is. She doesn't know what her name comes from, although
maybe the mother doesn't know.
But then, again, that's what I'm saying.
Well, how would she get the name?
Exactly? How does she get the last name? So you can't even say there was like, at first I was thinking maybe her mother was assaulted, and
that's what I thought.
This is the product. But why would you be assaulted and then give this child that man's last name? That makes absolute zero sense. And her mother is gorgeous. Number one, I gotta give her mother a shout out to that. Her mother is absolutely stunning, but her mother doesn't seem like no dumbass neither. So that's what I'm saying. Why would you give your child this man's last name if that is the circumstance? Which I don't think, because that's why that girl has his last name. So why don't you tell her?
It's something we don't know.
Because at the end of the day, she has a sister. And I'm assuming the sister and her are from the same father. So why don't they know who their father is?
There's something we don't know about. There's something.
I don't get that. And as a parent, I don't have children, So I could lay judgment all day, but I just don't understand how you cannot tell your 37-year-old daughter who their biological father is. You go, here's his name. Here's the last I heard of from him. You're 37 years old right now. You make the decision as an adult. You go find out who he is. I'll let you know he ain't shit. He wasn't shit when I had you, but as a grown-ass woman now, if you want to go find him, and
maybe he doesn't want to have anything to do with them.
yourself.
Maybe he doesn't want to have anything to do with them.
And
Maybe
I think
he
that's
doesn't.
more it that when she says she doesn't know him, it's because she knows him, but he doesn't want anything to do with them.
He said she knows nothing about him.
Right.
Why would you say that?
Mainly because he doesn't want her to have he doesn't want to have a relationship with her.
We'll find out more. It's
got to come out. It's got to come out. I'll be stunned. It's got to come out. But I'm sorry. That just weirded me out.
But this is why I feel she's so needy. I get needy from her. I know you guys don't, but I get extremely needy, and I see her being manipulated, not so much, but cowering a little bit to whatever he going along with whatever he wants. I get that. I
agree. I get that. I get that as well, because that's the last thing that she needs. She's got everything according to her, and what she's portrayed. She's got everything. All she needs to complete this power couple is the man and the babies and all of that. I think. Go ahead.
When you said the Katina thing, the only reason why I didn't think that was because the post-nup.
Right.
She was strong about that. It's like I want to have a post-nup, and he was like, okay. He's like, oh, you don't trust your boy? He's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't cower to his.
No, not yet. But it's to me, there's like subtle clues. I mean, subtle moments from her that make me wonder. Yeah, he said okay, but the paper's not drawn up yet, and we don't see what it says in this post-nup yet. But it's not even so much that, I mean, I knew she would bring up the post-nup. I was proud of her for asking about the bankruptcy. I'm not saying she's not going to ask questions. I'm not saying she's not going to see or demand a certain level. But at the end of the day, I do see her saying won't be a big deal for her in the end if he doesn't agree with it. Because in her mind, she's going to be married for the rest of her life to this person. And in order to do that, she is going all this super, not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The super independent person that everybody describes her to be. I don't see that woman. I don't see this super independent woman. I see a woman wanting a man, and she's going to get that man, and she's going to do whatever she can to keep that man, just like Katina did. That's what I mean.
But the difference between, I see that with you. I agree with you on that one. But the difference between her and Katina at this point, she'll do whatever she can to keep that man. But one time, he claps at her and says something.
We'll have to see.
Or if he claps at her and says something simple because she she was a little annoyed when they were doing the little motorbikes or whatever the hell they were doing.
And with the white girl too.
That's right. She's holding her tongue because it's still new. I think once they get back to San Diego, if he continues on where it's about, his Instagram or, she's like, Jesus, let's just enjoy the trip. Like that, you have to be able to kind of turn it off and not be all up in the camera, like ding, 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 ding. Which I agree with her on that one. But I agree with you, Shahida, in that she's going to do what she's going to put in the effort for this marriage. But the one time that he comes out of pocket, she ain't gonna do like Katina. She'll be like, motherfucker, get your shit and get to gone. I'm out.
I would have to see that. I don't see it now.
The fact that he said, remember, she said, doing couples things that were married, this, that, and the other. And he's like, I'm waiting for the right person. She's like, motherfucker, we married.
Oh,
That's right.
no, he was talking about
With the
having
baby.
children.
He was talking about having
Yeah.
children.
She's like, a year? She's like, yeah.
And he really did not look in those moments as committed
Nope.
to a marriage as he should be. I mean, he wasn't. It was like he wasn't. He's thinking like, this is my girlfriend, and if it works out, it works out. Not this is my wife. So that
to me. Thank you, Chris, for bringing that up. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up, because to me that was worse than Mitch saying, I'm not attracted to you physically, but I'm going to work on this and try to get there. He you look at your wife and say, well, it depends on if I'm with the right person or not, or the person. I would have looked at him at that moment. She did. She's like, well, I'm your wife. Me, I would have been done at that moment. And
I don't trust that.
Her facial expressions was on point in her confessional when she was like, if he'd have given me about the post-nup and said he wasn't going to do the post-nup, we're done. No. She has no problem. She is like Katina in the way that she's going to do the most to make it work, but she ain't going to put up with that bullshit. I hope I'm right, because I can't see this woman being so coming into this all Miss Independent. I got my bomb ass house. I got properties all over the country, and I'm trying to take this shit and build this generational wealth. I will be absolutely devastated if she whimpers down for him. I mean, he's all right, but he ain't all that.
I think all of the women would do anything to keep their, so it's not just isolated to her. I think they all want to do what they have to do to make this marriage work. The Katina thing gets me when she would do anything to make it work, despite him being an asshole. That's the difference.
Disrespectful.
Maybe I should stop comparing her to Katina, because I'm gonna and
you see what I'm saying? Like, Katina was gonna do it.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't really want to disrespect her, because she's in a happy marriage now. Whether I like it or not, I don't want to disrespect her on that. I'm just saying what I do. I don't see the super independent person that everybody else is seeing. I do see that I see a woman who is kind of broken, and I understand that she has things and she's done well, but listening to her, especially in that moment, I felt that she was really broken, and she needed to have, when people say I need to have a husband and children and a family because that's going to complete me, that's the dream I've always had. I'm always wary of people that need to have those things, because we want those things, but they shouldn't complete us. But you could tell these things would complete her, because she has a vision. She didn't have it, huh?
Yeah, she has a vision of what her life should be. I'm going to be personally brutally honest right now. I see a lot of myself in oh God, Katina, Jesus, no, in Stasia. Only because, hell, I'll admit it, I'm broken, been broken. I'm still trying to fix myself at 54. I have everything that I want in life. And we have conversations where I'm like, I'm retired from dating. There's a reason why I say that, because I don't have the energy. I would love to find someone and have a nice relationship with someone. I don't want to get married again, but I would love to have a nice committed relationship with someone. But I can't get out of my own way in it. Whereas like I could meet you and you could be the best thing since sliced bread. You do one little wrong thing, I'm be like, I'm out. We're done here. I got the boxing gloves up. I am not at the point to be vulnerable with anybody. I can't do it. That's why I've taken myself out of the game, because if I entertain somebody, I ruin them. How does that remind me of her? Because I think when you said she's broken, I kind of like I relate to that, because I kind of am. My dad wasn't around. I know who he is or was, but he wasn't around. So I don't know. I just feel like, she wants this, or well, she says she needs it, whatever. But I just think that she sees it as this is the plan. Like she has to have her husband, and she want this whole power couple thing. They're also young, and she's watched too many videos with.
No,
or
she's 38.
37.
Yeah.
She ain't that young.
38.
She's a grown woman.
I like her. I do like her.
I like her.
I just and I honestly really believe out of all the couples, I do think that they're gonna make it. I
hope that they make it.
I think that
I really hope that they make it.
I don't trust him.
But
I don't trust him.
I feel the same way about him that I felt about the other dude on the last season, but I'm not gonna bring up anybody's names anymore.
Oh,
Wajwa.
Yeah,
I didn't like him for her, but there is something a little.
I didn't like Olajuwon, but I don't trust. There's something about him that I haven't.
How quickly he said yes to that post-nup. That's what I'm saying. We don't know what's going to be written.
But why wouldn't he say yes to the post-nup? Because at the end of the day, why would you say no? You got married at first sight.
No, a lot of people have issues with prenups, postnups, whatever. So
I mean, if it was a normal relationship, a normal dating relationship, and we've been together for some years, and then we decide, or you propose to me, and then you slap me upside the head with a prenup or a postnup, then there's a discussion to be had. My feelings might be hurt, but I can see where she's coming from. If she's attained this wealth and has attained this level of success that she claims that she has, then I don't understand why he would be annoyed that she brought up a post-nup. Now, again, it could be a little bit premature because we are on day 3 or day 2 of the honeymoon. She could have at least waited until they had the honeymoon and got back to San Diego and then sprung that shit on him. She didn't have to say that right there, but she did. Again,
they were talking about finances. She wanted
to get it out of the way.
That is true. And her mother called her, and her mother basically told her about the bankruptcy, so she had to bring it up to him. He was honest with her. He could have fed her some bullshit.
He was not. You know why he wasn't honest? Because he said in 6 months it was cleared up. What bankruptcy is cleared up in 6
that
months?
Is true. Ooh, girl, you're right on that one. Girl,
isn't it 7 years? Isn't it some 7 years? Something in that?
You right on that one. And again, you saying that, Shahida. See, I was all caught up in the episode, drinking my wine. But then again, why didn't Stasha pick up on that? That's what she does for a living. She's in real estate. Why didn't her radar, when he said that, did her face? I was looking at her body language and her face. She was still like,
I thought he said it to the family.
No, he said it to her.
He said it to her too. He said
at the table.
He asked him about it, and he went in a little, and then he said, that's why I moved out here to kind of restart myself. And she said, well, the bankruptcy and everything, how's that now? He said, oh, you know what? It's all. He didn't say all taken care of. He said, I think it's all done. He said 6 months, it's all taken care of, something like that.
Well, maybe it's a 7 years. Maybe it happened 7 years ago. And then when he moved out, because he's been in San Diego for a while, so right?
But 6 months, if you have a bankruptcy, I'm assuming I've never applied for bankruptcy. I'm thinking bankruptcy, it clears all your debt. I'm assuming, right?
No, not all of it.
But it's 7 years. I thought
it's still it's 7 years of bad credit.
So if he did it when he was in his early 20s or in like late 20s, and after in 6 months it'll be cleared up, or it was cleared up in the last 6 months.
You're right on that one. It could have been cleared up. He could be right. He could be right.
He was selling all the Fendi bags.
Yeah, at the gas station, selling.
It would depend on the timeline, but I don't think I don't think it's cleared.
I don't trust him.
I don't think he was telling the truth.
Something nefarious about him.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll see when they get home. And yeah, I want this honeymoon to be over already. Because I just want them to get home, because I want to see when the reality hits all of them. All right, are we good with Stasha and Jeff and what's his name?
Can we just talk about?
Can we talk about Dikembe Mutombo and Alexis?
Yeah.
I said Dikembe Mutombo because every time I see him, I think of Dikembe Mutombo. And
Hoya Saxon, shout out to Georgetown.
I didn't even know he went to Georgetown, but I'm just saying.
I went to school with him. I know Dikembe.
I'm not saying he's a bad person, but
No,
I just think Dikembe Mutombo every time I see Justin. All I'm gonna say is
he's too much. That's what you can say. He's too fucking much. He's too fucking much.
the both of them are too much. I think she's just playing a part. I don't think she really cares for him. I think she is playing up for the cameras, and I think that she is just gonna be there for the 8 weeks. I don't see any chemistry with them at all. I think she's given her Academy Award actress appearance. And what do I say? Justin saying I love you. Dude, I get it. There may be some people out there that can look at someone and talk to someone within an hour and realize that that's my person. I'm in love with them. Me, on the other hand, I ain't that bitch. Not sorry. I can't see. I might like you a lot and be physically attracted to you and like what you're talking about, but I ain't in love with you. And then he cried. The worst is when he cried like a baby after she's like, I'm not going to say that to you, whatever she said. And then all of a sudden the waterworks. And I'm just like, boner killer, bro. Like, really? Ugh. That is a weird couple. Weird couple for me.
Do not get how you all are seeing that she's not attracted to him, because she's all over him. I just don't see that as fake. I think she's in love with how he loves her.
Yes.
You're right.
I
get that part. I get that. But would that make you want to be all up on somebody?
I think she's just
or want somebody to want. I mean, plenty of guys would want me, but that doesn't mean I want them touching all over me. Did you see them in that little on the water? I mean, they were all intertwined.
Yeah, I think she likes him. I think she likes how he acts about her. I think she's not attracted to it, but I think she's okay with all the affections from the other. I don't think she's.
But she's giving out a lot of the affection.
I think what Tani was saying. I think it's a little bit of an act.
I think.
And why haven't they had sex? I don't understand the celibacy.
Here's the thing. It's not him. This is why I think it's an act, because she will tell anybody with an ear that he's celibate.
Right. But he's saying he wants to stay celibate though, so it got to be him.
Did he?
Yeah. At the he was explaining why he's celibate after she said it on the boat. Why, when she yelled out to everybody that he's celibate, and he was explaining why he's celibate.
He should at least lease it. Lease.
I think
celibate, buy a bit. Can we just
No. I think she's saying he's celibate because she does not want to have sex with him. Period. End of story. I think she's throwing it out there to anybody that's listening, because his
thing. A little bit of clowning him too with that.
Basically,
clowns him a little bit with that.
That's why I'm thinking that she's trying to shame him into having sex with her.
No, I don't think she's trying to. I think she's trying to not have sex with him, and that's why she's telling everybody he's celibate. Because I think that she should kissing him, hugging up on him, spooning him, whatever. I could do that with anybody at this point, but sex,
really?
Of course.
All in between your legs, just humping and grinding on you? No.
Of course.
No.
But why,
penetration.
Explain to me why he doesn't want to have sex with her.
I think he wants to have sex with her, because when she said on the boat,
I don't think he does.
I think he's like, yeah, come on, girl. Like, what
why haven't they done it?
I think he wants to have sex with her. I don't think she wants to have sex with him. That's why she's telling everybody he's celibate. That's all I got to say on that one.
That's what the non sequitur is for me. It's like he keeps talking about his dick being hard. How many fucking times?
1 million.
And she keeps talking about, he's celibate. Well, why aren't you all fucking if you're all over each other and this, that, and the other? What is going on? What is the disconnect?
They're putting up airs, man. I'm telling you, she is. I don't think she's being genuine. If she's being genuine, then she's just caught up in the moment, because she is, like you said, Chris, she is in love with the fact that he is in love with her and telling her, I got your back. I mean, how do you meet someone, you marry him, 2 days later, you're in Puerto Vallarta, and this man is dead ass looking you in your face, talking about you're it. When you walk down the aisle, I could see getting caught up in that, or getting like a euphoric feeling off of that, where he's like, well, as soon as I saw you, I knew you was the one.
Oh, beyond that, he was also saying, and the personalities you have, and how you are with me, and all this stuff. Now you're my now I know you're my person.
And I got you. He's like, I got you. I will always have you. And talking about forever and shit with her. And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. And then when he's like, I love you. And I was like, she was like, what? And he's like, I love you. And she's like, ah. And I was like, red flag for me. Don't tell me you are in love with me 2 days.
It was a red flag for her. She wasn't.
Of course it was.
You know, I don't know. We'll have to see on this one, because I don't understand all the physicalness of this.
But I'm gonna say one more thing with regards to Justin. Justin is giving out all this sensitivity and all this emotion. Justin is my Nate and my Mitch. I think when they get back, Justin is going to be the one to show his whole natural ass. You saw how he flipped the script when he was talking to his brother. He was all nicey and lovey and sensitive man. And then when his brother was like, I don't think you're ready, and he was like, I think Justin is going to be so quick to be dismissive and be rude. If him and Alexis has interaction, I think he's going to show his full divadom is going to come out on her ass. And that's when she's going to be like, really, motherfucker? Okay. I think he's going to be the one. I think he's going to be the one to show his whole natural ass first and who he really is. I'm sorry. I don't trust Justin, and I equally don't trust Alexis. I think Alexis is just playing a part right now.
There's something about her that's like, because also her reaction to him saying "I love you" was like, she's like, "Oh, really?" Like this, something. If she was really like, "I'm not ready," said, he's like, you know what? She didn't take it in of like, "That's beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm not ready." Just like Steve did. When Steve heard what's her name, Noy, say, "I love you," remember that? He was like,
he said, "Thank you."
He said he took it in,
yep,
and said, "You know what? I'm not there yet. I appreciated this, that, and the other." He didn't laugh like, "Oh my God, really?" It didn't seem like she really took it in, like, "Oh my God, this man really loves me, and I want to respect that feeling towards me. I'm not ready yet." She kind of joked about it, like, "Well, I'm not ready yet," but she kind of joked about it, and because that was a really serious thing about. And then he starts crying. She's not really. I don't think she really acknowledges his feelings that way yet. Does that make sense?
And again, all of the huggy, kissy, fondling each other on the water and stuff. It should have been at that moment when he said, "I loved you," and she was like, "I'm not there yet." And then he was like, and then the tears started flowing. If she was all touchy, feely, huggy, it should have been at that moment. She should have got her ass up out of that chair and said, "I'm really sorry. You know, I'm not trying to make you cry. Don't cry." She should have hugged him and embraced him. But I don't think he was
crying. I don't think he was crying because of that. I think he was crying because he was just so emotional.
Yeah, I would not have done that either, because she did say, "Are you okay?" You know,
I think he was just emotional.
I would not have brought more attention to it. I would have tried to, like, you know,
yeah,
it's only 2 days. I don't know you that well, so I'm just be like, and I think I agree with you, Chris. The way she handled it was a little bit suspect to me, and it was very dismissive and a little immature, and my word today, a little mean, you know, to kind of like laugh and giggle at somebody professing his love for you and why. He gave her reasons why he loved her. So he, you know, it's not like he just said, "I love you," and then expected something back. He's like, "This is why I love you." I thought she could have been a little bit more sensitive to that, but I those two, I'm not with you guys on this one. I'm really out here kind of confused because I'm reading it entirely differently.
And that's why I like all of these couples, because they are bringing shit to the table. It's like, it's nothing like, and I'm a little offended because it's nothing like these Boston motherfuckers and shit, because I don't want everybody to now think everybody from Boston is like that. These people, I think they're really truly trying, but there's always that little like, really, what's going on?
I
like it. I'm really interested in this season.
Yeah.
I'm glad that our fans and our people were like, y'all got to come back and y'all got to talk about Married at First Sight again. Y'all can't just leave, because I was ready to bounce and never watch that shit again. But I'm glad that we did, because I'm telling you, I think I'm going to really enjoy this season until somebody fucks up.
We'll see.
Until somebody proves me wrong. I'm like, bitch, I was rooting for you. Like Tyra Banks on America's Next Top Model. I was rooting for you, bitch.
All right, before we sign off, I do want you all to watch that show on Netflix, The Most Hated Man on the Internet. That shit was good.
Okay.
What's the name of it again?
Most Hated Man on the Internet.
All right, so everybody watched The Most Hated Man on the Internet.
And movie-wise, I saw 13 Lives, and that was really good.
13 Lives?
13 Lives.
Yeah, the Ron Howard movie about the rescuing those kids in Thailand.
Oh, it's on Prime.
Oh, is that good?
No, it's in the movie theater.
But I thought it was on Prime.
It may be on Prime, but the documentary
is on Prime too.
The documentary is on Prime, but I saw it in the theaters. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good.
I saw the preview for it yesterday.
Yeah.
And don't wait. And on an end note, and we'll bring it up every week until the time, the Still Dope crew is gonna be together soon, in person, in LA. We're coming to LA, Chris. Shahida and TT is coming to Cali.
Podcast in the courtyard.
So we're gonna be broadcasting from the courtyard. And so it'll be the first time that the three of us are together. So we're so excited.
So
I know, Tanya, you and I haven't even been together since the very early days.
I know.
Podcast.
But you know how I am. Girl, you know how I am, bitch. I'm in the house. All right, listen, until next week, everybody's homework, The Most Hated Man on the Internet, Netflix. Watch it so we can discuss it next week and you guys can comment. And we'll see y'all next time.